Hey everyone, it's Flynn Patrick once again, and in this video we will be releasing the number 80 player in the NBA for 2017-2018. This was absolutely one of the most fun players for me to watch this past season, so let's get right to it. The number 80 player in the NBA for 2017-2018 is going to be Tyreke Evans of the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies were just an odd team this past season, and Tyreke Evans was one of the toughest players to rank on this entire list because a fully healthy Tyreke Evans that plays at least 75 games in a season probably finishes in the top 50 on this list. And he absolutely had a resurgence year, averaging 19 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, and 5 assists a game. And also another big addition to his game this past season was he added a consistent three-point shot, very low key. When you think of Tyreke Evans, you don't think three-point shooter, but he shot three-pointers this past season at a high volume, and he actually made 40% of his three-pointers, which is very, very good, especially considering his stat line and the situation he was in. That gives him a lot of value going forward. His best game, I would say, this past season was a 31 point, 12 rebound, 7 assist performance versus Cleveland in December. That same month, he also had a 30 point, 11 assist game versus the LA Clippers. Solid perimeter defender as well, averaging 1.1 steals a game. So, Tyreke Evans being ranked this low on the list is not necessarily due to a lack of talent. It is just due to the really weird situation he had to deal with this past season. So basically what happened was that Memphis was tanking, and if you don't know what tanking means, if you're a casual NBA fan, that means that you're losing on purpose to get a high draft pick for the next year's draft. So Memphis was losing on purpose, and the trade deadline was in February, and basically what happened was they set out Tyreke Evans right before the trade deadline because the assumption was that he was going to be traded to a playoff contending team. And I would have really, really loved to see how Tyreke Evans did on a playoff contending team. I think that if a situation like that had occurred, he could have finished a lot higher on this list. Like, I'm talking potentially top 40 even. But basically Memphis just decided not to trade him, which is a little bit even more absurd considering he had an expiring contract and they don't have him signed for next season anyway, so like they had nothing to lose by trading him, even for like a second round pick even. So they just decided not to get any value for him whatsoever. Not only that, but he had a very valuable contract. He was making just $3 million a year. A lot of these players that are ranked before him are making like $20 million a year right now. So this is an absolute steal of a contract for Mr. Evans. So Memphis could have gotten some ridiculous assets back, but they just decided not to trade him. And as a Memphis Grizzlies fan myself, I believe that is absurd. It is an abomination. The Memphis Grizzlies front office is just a mess. It's a big giant cluster of a mess. So they kept Tyreke Evans and they were still tanking for a pick, and they basically just decided not to play him at all the last 2 months, which on one hand for Tyreke Evans that's pretty good because he's going to be a free agent this offseason, and I guess better to stay healthy and keep your value high, because I see him getting a pretty big contract this offseason, whomever that is from. But, I mean, in terms of the ranking on this list, if he had played the last 2 months at the same level he was at before, he would have finished a lot higher on this list. Either way, he's still only going to be 29 years old all of next season. And with his added addition of a consistent long-range shot to go with his all-around game, I see Mr. Tyreke Evans getting a big contract this offseason. He is at the perfect age to where he can get one more really big contract, so it's a pretty good situation for Mr. Tyreke Evans overall. Depending on the situation, I could see him getting anywhere between $15 and $20 million a year this offseason. But either way, wherever he goes, he's going to be making more than the $3 million he made this past year. Thank you so much for watching this video. Congratulations to Tyreke Evans for cracking the hashtag Infinite Rank Top 120 at number 80, although with a little less of a weird situation, he probably would have even finished a lot higher. My name is Flynn Patrick, and we will be back with the number 79 player shortly.